High Nights Media Network. I'm your host, Katie Rowland, and today we're here with Benia Eastham.
Hi.
And we're going to be talking about life after Bellarmine and just post-grad and all of that fun stuff. So, just to start out, what did you major in college?
So first I started off with business as my major, and that only lasted one semester, and then I changed to communications, and then sophomore year I added a minor with TV news and sports broadcasting.
Nice. What made you want to change?
So I picked business because it was just that simple thing everybody thinks it's like the easiest major out there, so you just kind of roll with it. But I didn't have any careers that I had in mind with business, so I switched to communications because I originally wanted to be a news reporter, and I did have an internship at WDRB, but that
awesome.
Slowly faded out considering my job is now at Derby City.
Yeah, well, nice. Congrats on your job.
Thank you.
How did you land that position?
Funny story. So I needed a better paying job to have the new apartment that I wanted, and it was the one job I applied to. Didn't know how much it paid. It paid good, and that's how it was.
That's
on careers.
Awesome. Yeah. Did you start like applying for that job or like jobs in general like after graduation, or is that like during your senior year? Like when did you get this job, and how long have you been in the position?
So my graduation was a little bit weird. I had finished in December, so the winter, and we don't have a winter graduation at Bellarmine. So I got that job in March, but graduation was May 2024. So I had started my full-time job a couple months before graduation.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's like different from like a lot of people's
stories.
It
was weird to get used to at first.
Yeah. So like, would you say that in general, like the job search was hard, or do you think that it was pretty straightforward? Or like with things you were looking forward to or like looking into, do you think that this like lines up with what you wanted?
I would say it lines up with what I was going with at the time because I was at a hotel at the moment. But I wouldn't say the job search is necessarily easy for post-grad life because I think I honestly just stumbled upon that.
Yeah.
Derby City, because it's with Churchill Downs, so they have a good program going on there. But I would say the post-grad life, it's a little bit hard, honestly. It's kind of brutal, I would say.
Yeah. So you were fortunate enough to only have to apply to one job and then land it. Yeah, like that's like unheard of. That's awesome. Like that's crazy. Do you think that Bellarmine prepared you well for post-grad? Like, do you think that like you felt well equipped whenever going into the workforce and everything like that?
Yes, because I would say everybody always says this, but the Bellarmine 12-to-1 student-faculty ratio, like it does make a difference because it's like everybody here knows each other pretty much. Like it's more of like a community, so I feel like that gives you more of a sense of how to deal with the real world almost, and it's like you're not just kind of thrown to the wolves in like a bigger SEC school or something.
Yeah. Did any like specific like teachers or anything help you with like how interviews would be or anything like that?
Stacy Shane, for sure. She took business writing, and I have never been more confused on how to write a paper on giving somebody bad news but not using any negative words. Didn't know that was possible, but she taught us that, and that was very mind-boggling. But she is a very smart woman, and I would definitely say she was the most, like, the professor that had the biggest impact.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, like, typically, what does, like, a day in the life look like for your, like, communication? Is it, like, a communications job at Derby City?
Yes and no. I would say yes because communication's there almost every second of the day there, but I work, so I'm the second shift supervisor, so I work 3 p.m. to 11 p.m., so my day's not the typical 9 to 5. So I usually try to go to the gym about 3 days a week. Doesn't always turn out like that.
But at least you have the goal.
Right. I'll try to go in the morning and then do any grocery shopping because my off days are Thursday, Friday, so it's still not the typical Saturday, Sunday, so that was a little to get used to, but honestly, I'm liking it because I do like sleeping in when I can.
Yeah. So like at your job, like what are some of like the specific like roles and responsibilities that you do?
So with me being the supervisor, I have to basically watch over the front desk agents. If there's any issues, I'm the one that has to go up there and do it. Refunds, it has to be through me. Reports, anything like that. Booking rooms with Churchill Downs, discounts, and the Horsemen, all that stuff goes through Becky and me. So it's a little, I would say it's a pretty easy job. Like it's pretty straightforward, not that hard.
That's awesome. Did any of like the skills or like any experiences you had at Bellarmine prepare you for that, or is a lot of it more like on-site learning on the job?
I would say with working in a hotel, it's basically just communication. Like, it's honestly just learning the system, because there are different systems. We use Versa over at Derby City, but it's basically just knowing how to communicate and keeping your cool sometimes, because there are crazy people out there.
Yeah, definitely.
It's all about communication, just learning how to keep your tone with them.
Yeah, that's good. I know you said that you think that Bellarmine did a good job preparing you for like life after graduation and like with specific teachers. Is there anything that Bellarmine maybe could have done a little bit better, or that you wish they had prepared you for after graduation?
Not necessarily Bellarmine. I wish I would have taken the opportunity and probably done another internship after I had decided that the one internship I did was not something I was interested in anymore. So I feel like that was kind of a fail on my part, but that's something I wish I would have done differently. Personally, Bellarmine was great.
Yeah, awesome. Can you go a little bit more into your internship? So you said that you originally wanted to do broadcasting. How did that like go out? Like, how did you decide that wasn't what you wanted to do?
So that internship, it was 1 day a week, and it was every Friday, and the shift was 4 a.m. to noon. So
dang, that's early.
It was a little hard with it being 1 day a week and that not being in my normal schedule at all. So that sucked.
Yeah.
But once I got there, it was just like completely different from what you thought it'd be. It's like, you know, you have this dream bubble, and then you go and see what it's like, and it's like, oh, that kind of popped.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what happened.
Yeah.
But finished that out, got the internship credit, and I was like, all right, I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, like, at least you figured out, like, while you were still in college, like, it's good that Bellarmine makes, like, the internships, like, a requirement.
Yeah.
So, like, that's awesome.
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, like, looking back, like, what is, like, a word of advice that you would give to other communication students, like, looking for a job in communications? Because I know that... Oh, go on.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say that I know that, like, I feel like communications, because it is such a broad, like, field, like you said, you're either going to go into, like, broadcasting, and now you're in, like, hotel work. So, like, I know that sometimes, like, the job hunting can look a little daunting because of that. So, like, what's, like, a word of advice you would give to anyone?
I would say that communications is so broad, because nowadays you need that college degree. So once that's down, it opens, like, I feel like unlimited amounts of jobs. So it's like you could be like, I'm in hotel and news broadcasting. Those are two different careers, like very different. So I feel like it's very broad, and to not be intimidated by any internships you see, like if it's always apply, because you never know unless you do apply.
Yeah.
That's what I say. I would say a lot of students get intimidated by that, but they shouldn't.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really good. And then what about for like interviews for your job? Like, did you feel like prepared through like any, like, did you all have like any mock interviews during your time at Bellarmine, or like were you like really nervous for your job interview? Do you think that's maybe why you got the job you applied for?
Yes, I think because my job interview, I will say, let me go to the Brown Hotel interview, the first hotel job. That one was a more nerve-wracking one, because I really needed the job, and I was like, let's get this started. But that was the first hotel, so that was a very new, I guess, life for me. I don't know, I've never worked in a hotel, so that was kind of new to step into. But the interview process, was very, you had to know the questions, like, are you a good people's person? Can you talk? Like, are you knowledgeable? Have you worked here before? Stuff like that. But I never did any mock interviews at Bellarmine. Probably should have, once again. Yeah. But no, they have really good resources for that. Yeah. In the Career Center.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's good. Yeah, well, I mean, it sounds like your life after graduation is really good. It's awesome that you got that job like the first time applying for it. Is there any future goals you have in mind, or are you wanting to stay in the hotel business?
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. I like it for now because it pays decently, and I like everybody I work with, so that's partly what makes your job great, honestly. You have to like the people you work with in the environment.
Yeah. So like, what's like a future job you would want to go into if it's not hotel?
I would consider journalism again, not like a reporter, but writing maybe, because I do enjoy writing. So that would be something I would consider.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. Thanks for taking the time out of your day